There's a blizzard coming in, and tonight I'm camping in my car solo. Why?
The entire point of car camping is doing cool stuff.
And I love skiing, but hotels and Airbnbs have gotten way too expensive, especially here in Tahoe. So I'm doing an experiment to see if I can survive the night in my car, because there is a lot of snow in the forecast. But before I show you one of the most famous ski resorts in the world and what it's like to sleep in a car, we gotta get there first. And driving over Donner Pass in a blizzard can be a challenge.
It's starting. I actually turned around and went home to get my sunglasses, but look at this. Storms are brewing. Unfortunately, it is still raining pretty hard, but this is our first sign of snow. Just like that, it's starting to snow. Getting a little dicey. We're going 20 miles an hour on the freeway. I'll check back in with you up at the top. It's just chain control. That was just chain control. When the roads get really bad, they make you stop and put on chains or have four-wheel drive. And the roads are pretty bad. But we did make it over the pass, Donner Pass. I'm stopped at a vista point, which normally looks pretty cool. Let's see what it looks like now. At least it's snowing. Whew. Got some snow on my microphone. I've done this drive quite a few times, and honestly, that probably ranks around a 2 out of 10 in terms of difficulty.
There are a couple things I gotta do to get ready to camp tonight. First is scope out my camping spot, then get some gas, groceries, and kill some time.
So I tried to get gas here, but there's no hose. So I went to this one.
For dinner, I'm getting a steak and a special surprise for dessert. See if you can guess what it is. With all my chores complete, I'm heading down to Palisades, Tahoe to check out the resort. Palisades is a cool place to hang out even when you're not skiing. And because of the storm, most of the lifts are already shut down. I've been here like 100 times before, and I'm coming back tomorrow. And hopefully I'll be back another 100 times after that.
Cold, it's snowy, it's windy. I'm gonna try to set up my bed a little bit before we actually get to the camping spot. Actually, maybe I'm not. Perhaps you can tell I don't have a ton of experience sleeping in my car. I've done it. I've done a lot of camping as well, but I'm not really sure what I'm doing here. The snow and wind is a complicating factor. I think what I'm going to try to do is set up as much of it from within the car as I can. Every time I open a door or window, a lot of snow just comes inside. Let's give it a shot. Freeing up a little space. Definitely overpacked for this trip. I don't know if this is fun exactly, but it's probably type 2 fun, at least. Here's the general idea. These are my window covers. We'll talk about them later, even though I am really proud. This is a cooler, and basically it keeps this whole thing level-ish, so it can be a bed. Oh man, these things are just in the way.
I actually made them myself and made an entire video about it. But it wasn't that hard, I'll show you later.
This is gonna be my bed for the night. Let's blow it up. Can you hear that? That is the wind. Looks like it might be a pretty long night. But the show goes on. I mean, that's not bad at all. In the cooler I have warm things, actually. My pillow and slippers. Very important. To make it a little cozier, I'm throwing a blanket on top. And last but certainly not least, my sleeping bag. I am absolutely stuffed. I think that means I'm probably not going to eat this steak, which is a bit of a bummer. But I am going to use my stove.
I've got something special for that. This fog on the window, I'm afraid, is a bit of a concern. I've got a plan for that as well. Just brushed off my car 5 minutes ago, and this is what it looks like now. I just got to Truckee from Palisades, and Truckee is a little bit lower elevation. It's not snowing quite as hard here, which is great news. And that it is snowing that hard at Palisades is great news for tomorrow. I said it before and I'll say it again. The whole point of car camping or van life or whatever is doing fun stuff. Pretty cool. That's why I'm doing this, and that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. It is about to get really dark in here because I'm going to put these window shades on, but I brought a light. I honestly cannot believe how well these work. I'll tell you more about them at the end of the video. Join me in the back seat. A couple things are going to help make this a little bit more comfortable. One is this solar powered lantern. This thing is amazing. I've had this for like 10 years. Pretty great, huh? I've even had this carabiner in my car forever. This is the first time I've ever actually used it. The other is this. I don't know if this is going to work, but I sure hope it does. One of my biggest concerns is moisture, and it will definitely be below freezing tonight. So the issue is basically that there's no ventilation in this car whatsoever. I am not going to have the windows cracked. I don't have anything to keep water from getting into the car. So I'm going to try this. Basically, it's something that absorbs moisture. They're popular in RVs. Let's hope they work. Another thing is this empty bottle. Might be filling this up later. That's pretty much that. So this is home. That's my bed. That's my chair, workspace. And this is my storage area. Home sweet home. Cozy. Kind of bummed, but this steak just is not gonna happen. And that's because I stopped at Aikida's on my way up here. And if you're doing the drive from the Bay Area to North Lake Tahoe, you should too. Aikida's is known for its pies, snacks, and restaurant. I got a breakfast burrito. Let's see if this thing is any good. Yes, it's really good. This is me having a spiritual experience over a breakfast burrito. Anyway, back to Tahoe. Fortunately, I have an empty cooler. And plenty of snow. A frankly shocking portion of the reason I'm doing this is Jiffy Pop. If you don't know what Jiffy Pop is, let me show you. This should definitely be outside. Too cold. Oh boy, if I had that on camera, you probably wouldn't blame me for not making Jiffy Pop. Okay, problem solved. It was just a loose valve. Let's give it another shot. For a second, I thought somebody had called the cops on me, but turns out they were just passing by. Let's give this one final shot. This is Jiffy Pop, take 3. So the key is just to keep it moving like any other popcorn. Eventually this will start to puff up and fill with popcorn. Oh man, it's cold. Just so you're aware, it's basically impossible to make Jiffy Pop without burning at least a little bit of it. But in my opinion, that's the best part. All right, let's eat. Another bonus of Jiffy Pop is that it comes in its own serving bowl. None of my videos have ever been sponsored, but Jiffy Pop, you know where to find me. That's the stuff. Ever so slightly smoky. That's what I like most about it. Overall, I'd say this is going pretty not great. So if you have tips on how to make this better, please let me know. I'm definitely going to do this again. Oh my god, I love Jiffy Pop. Do not think this is just normal popcorn. This is something completely different. This is Jiffy Pop. Time to try out this bed. Yeah, shockingly, it's pretty good. Could use some adjustments, but this'll work. All good things come to an end, and sadly this Jiffy Pop is almost gone, but I did an excellent job of cooking it, if I do say so myself. There's only 1 or 2 burnt pieces. Well, maybe a few more. So let me show you what I got at Aikida's. Samurai Wasabi Snack Mix. This stuff is so good. Gummy dinos and crystallized ginger. This is actually a Valentine's Day gift, and today is Valentine's Day. So I'm sorry, not to you, but if it is you, you know who you are. I already got the gift of chocolate hearts. Seriously, if you haven't had Jiffy Pop, you need to go out and buy some right now. I thought staying warm was gonna be an issue, but I'm actually really hot. Hopefully that's not an issue. This would become an issue, and so is this. I'm parked on the wrong side. This parking lot allows you to park on opposite sides each day, and I need to be over there. That dehumidifier sure has its work cut out for it. Oh. Well, that sucked. We're just gonna roll with it and hope for the best. What else can you really do? I'm still having fun. After that debacle from earlier, there is still just water everywhere. This too would become an issue. It's coming down. Okay. Now I am actually freezing. Fortunately, I have this outrageous jacket. Train. That's kind of cool. There's a train here. It is definitely not easy to move around in here. I'm not gonna lie, my bed at home is more comfortable, but this is really not that bad. It's certainly more comfortable than I thought it was gonna be. I'm reading a book called Isaac Storm about the Galveston hurricane of 1900, and it's kind of cool doing that as the wind shakes my car. It's getting kind of late, and the real reason I'm here is what we're doing tomorrow, so I'm gonna go to bed. Good night. Well, I thought I was going to bed. This is a train crossing. Condensation is becoming a bit of an issue. But I'm only here for one night, so who really cares? I'm excited to say that after a night of water dripping in my face, trains passing 20 feet from my head, and a host of other issues that come by virtue of sleeping in a Subaru, I survived. It's maybe a B- night of sleep at best. Not great, but not horrible. These train tracks right behind me are active. It is wet in here. This thing appears to have done basically nothing, but to be fair, it was a tall order. There's a lot of snow in here. Some good news, it snowed about a foot down at Palisades, so there's really only one thing left to do. After I deal with some of this condensation, that is. One of the bonuses of a below average night of sleep is that you're up and on the road before traffic becomes an issue. And in the Tahoe Basin, after a storm, that is a big deal. The roads this morning aren't terrible, but it really only takes one Bay Area tourist like me to mess things up for everyone else. This is what it is all about. Brought the big skis today. Lifts don't open for another 30 minutes, but the line for KT22 is already looking good. I'll be back later, but I'm starting the day on the upper mountain, which usually gets a little bit more snow. This is the top of the Funatel, and visibility is low. I'm heading over to Solitude for some easy warm-up runs. That's until Siberia and the rest of the upper mountain gets open. It's about now that I realize that there's really no better reason to sleep in your car than a midweek powder day. If you want to see more like this, hit subscribe and check out these videos. Thanks for watching.